Today, we are going to be talking about setting up the proper saddle height on your mountain bike. Right, so having the proper saddle height is something I think that's a little bit overlooked in mountain biking, especially if you're a beginner and you don't really know what the proper saddle height is. And everyone assumes that, like, if you're pedaling with a saddle that's a little bit too low, it's, you know, it's not gonna hurt you that much or whatever. It's just gonna feel uncomfortable, but it's not gonna be the worst for you. Or if you pedal, I see a lot of people whose saddle height is just simply too high, so they're rocking their hips back and forth on the saddle when they pedal. That's not correct. You want your saddle to be just the right height to where your leg has a slight bend when you're at the bottom of your pedal stroke. So like currently, my saddle is at that proper height. So right now, my saddle is at the height to where I'm at the bottom of my pedal stroke, there is a slight bend in my knee. What you don't want is this. This is what you don't want. When you're at the bottom of your pedal stroke, you do not want your foot to be completely straight and locked out, because that's what's gonna make your hips rock back and forth when you're on the saddle, which will cause a lot of strain on your hips. But what you also don't want is you don't want your saddle too short. You don't want your knee to be this bent when you're at the bottom of your pedal stroke, because when you're pedaling, you're going to be putting a lot of strain on your knees. You want your leg to be in that position where it's still a little bit bent but not perfectly locked out. And I'm going to show you the method that most mountain bikers use to achieve that perfect saddle height. What you want to do is you want to have your crank at the bottom of the position of the 6 o'clock roughly, and you want to put your heel. You want to put the back of your heel on the bottom of the pedal, and your leg should be perfectly locked out and straight. So that way, when you put your toe back on the pedal, it'll have that bend to it. But this is the bend that you want. You don't want it to be bent like that high at the bottom of your crank, and you don't want your foot to be completely locked out at the bottom of your crank. You want it to be just a slight bend. This way you are going to get the most efficient pedaling uphill, and you're also not going to be damaging your hips and your knee joints as much when you pedal. And it really is that simple. It might take you a couple of tries to like really dial it into that length for you. And it's a lot easier when you have a quick release to adjust it. But that's just been like a really quick video on how to set your saddle height correctly. And when you have it set correctly, you are going to notice a difference when you are climbing. It's going to feel a lot easier. You're going to be able to have more endurance because you're not tiring yourself out as much. So really having the correct saddle height makes a load of difference out on the trail. I hope you guys learned a little bit from this. If you have, please drop a like. And I will link my first video up in this corner. Subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for my next video next week. I think I will be talking about how to fix a bent rear derailleur hanger. So that's going to be a little bit of a complex one, but stick around. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.